Let me say a special good morning to all of you who are here already, those of you who are Dominicans living in Dominica, and as well the people who are out of Dominica but are listening as well and are watching. It's the 14th day of November 2024, and I'm going to have a very brief, I should say, but candid discussion with a young lady by the name of Dane Sylvester. She, I'm being told, is the girlfriend of Mr. Clint Rolle. Clint Rolle in Dominica is a name that has made the rounds, at least for the past 2 days for sure, in terms of a very, I am saying now, unfortunate situation that took place in Wesley yesterday morning. Without saying much more, let me just move across and say a pleasant good morning, though it's not that pleasant, but a pleasant good morning to you, Ms. Sylvester. How are you?
Good morning, sir. I'm okay.
You okay?
Oh, well, I have to.
But your heart is a bit heavy, I'm presuming.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. Ms. Sylvester, I just want to thank you for, first and foremost, having the guts, the courage, and whatever it takes to sit down with me this morning amidst this very trying time to sort of retell or recall that situation that started yesterday morning. Can you just roll back the hands of the clock, as it were, as to what transpired yesterday morning as we start?
Well, yesterday morning, I watched the time. It was 4:45, exactly 4:45, when I heard I don't know if it's a kick or knock on the door. It was so hard. It sounded like a kick. And then I heard someone at the back on the other side saying police. So I tell them, hold on, because that time of the hour you have to get dressed and whatever. Though we heard previously they are looking for Clint, which I was told, but Clint was in Wesley yesterday, so the day before, so I just know if they did not know him or did not recognize him, because he's right by the roadside doing his work. And when I heard of the incident, knowing that my son would be home, that was the day before him. I left work, asked for emergency to let him to come and look after my son. But Clint told me there's nothing with him there doing his work, so I went back to I reported to work.
Okay. And around what time of the morning was that?
The day before.
Yes.
The day before, it was like in the afternoon, not so much in the morning, it was in the afternoon.
Okay, no. When the guys came and arrested Clint in the morning?
No, it was exactly quarter to 5.
Quarter to 5, okay.
It was exactly quarter to 5.
Okay.
So he told me, I recognize the police officer except one.
Yes.
I could see that he was from town, he was not from the area. It was about 6 to 7 of them, because somebody was in the driver's seat of the van, of the white pickup outside. So they did give him time to do whatever he have to do. We were very compliant with them, and they themselves, they worked with us. And the officer tell him, you ready, man? Because Clint basically had his clothes on already. When he heard of what happened previously, he said with his clothes on.
So he was basically ready to go at any time?
Yes. So they left with him. My son is terrorized by that, because to see all the police officers, I wish they had come to the home previously with their guns and ammunition, and he was the only one there. So he was kind of still traumatized by it up to 2 days, because I have not sent him to school as a result of that. And they took him and they went to him, they bring him for questioning. That's all they said to him, they bring him for questioning. They did not have a warrant in their hand, nothing. But we didn't give them anything, because I basically knew the officers that were there.
Yes.
So Clint went with them, and when they left, I informed his lawyers, and the lawyers said they would do what they have to do. But all 8 going up to 9, he was not there. Where they said, because they said they're taking him to town, and he was not in town, he was not in the charge office, he was not in the cell, he was not in CID. I tell him to call Portsmouth, because they say one of the policemen that was there, he moved to Portsmouth, he was the sergeant of Wesley, but then he was the arresting officer, very tall, I forgot his name. He moved to Portsmouth. That was the thing wrong I did not ask him his name. And he did, and the others, they were They were officers from Wesley, so I know them, they still work in Wesley, except the one closest to the washing machine, he was not. So when the lawyer told me so, I told the lawyer, okay, so I'm going to, that's when I called Matt and I made the announcement that Clint is nowhere to be found. Right after that, maybe half an hour, going up to an hour, he was said that he was singing Marigot.
Okay.
But Clint was not in Marigot when he left there. Clint was not in Marigot for a couple of hours. I knew that for a fact. I will not say why, but I knew that for a fact.
Okay.
And then he was in, so whole day he was in Marigot, and then he came to my workplace, which was very disturbing, and because you have departure of people in departures at that time. So for the, anytime you see, they didn't have any gun or anything, but anytime you see policemen,
yes,
it
raises some kind of alarm.
So people are kind of curious. So
yeah.
It was very unbecoming. But he did not treat me any way in any ill or anything like that. So anyway, we went, he told me he came for Clint phone. So remember, I know this kind of, there's nothing on the phone, but I'm saying I have to take precaution. I can't just give you Clint phone, I'm not a lawyer, I have not spoken to a lawyer. I tell him, do I need a lawyer?
Yes.
He tell me no, Clint said to give me, so no, I cannot take your word for it because you're doing your job. And so he tell me, so I tell him, no, I have to see Clint. Clint have to tell me that for myself. So he tell me, Clint is in the bus. So I grab my bag for me to go to, you know,
yes.
to assist him. And then did he wait for me to do my operations first. And then when I went to the bus, there was 10 police officers, I called them. There were 9 male and 1 female. They took me back to my place. When they took me to my place was upside. It was in handcuffs. And my place was upside down. So from the time I come to my place, I suffer from cleaning disorders on my fault. That alone was traumatizing for me to see my home like that. Anyway, I tell him, you hold on home. And I tell him, where I was taking him to the phone, I tell him, told my phone to listen. So you took me, so why are you asking me for clean phone when you have the phones already? He tell me, oh, that's not clean phone. So I tell him, if it's not clean phone, why do you have it? So I tell him, well, you have the phone. He tell me, no, that's not the phone. He was, what do you call that? He was very, he was to the exact, he said, that's not clean phone, like he knew the phone.
Okay.
So then, but before that happened,
yes,
before I entered the house, before that, I asked them for the warrant. They tell me, oh, they have the warrant. I tell him, no, officer, you have to present the warrant to me.
Mm-hmm.
So then he tell me, why I'm being so difficult? Clint is not that difficult with them. Actually, Clint was very compliant with them and cooperative.
Yes.
And things so. So I tell him, well, I'm Clint, I'm a law-abiding citizen, but I'm a civilian and I have my rights, just as like I respect your office.
Yes.
As a police officer. So we have to go by the books. That's what I tell him. So when I told him so, he went to the bus and he get the form. It was a yellow form. He held it in his hand, he didn't open it. I tell him, no, officer, you have to open it, I have to read it. If I cannot read, I'll ask you to read it for me. But I can read, so I want to read for myself. So I did read it, and then I say, okay, I'm sorry. I tell him, seeing that it's 9 male, and I'm traumatized, I'm not going to have people coming into my house. I would rather the female officer assist, which they did. And then, well, at the same situation as I mentioned to you before, I tell him they take it away. So then he tell me, you want the phone? Honestly, Mr. Dura, my head was very heavy. I didn't realize too I had the phone. I dropped the phone and things like that. So I tell them, well, I don't have the phone is not there. So most likely I had it. But in answering the phone, because so many people were calling, like his mom was concerned,
yes,
she heard the news from people,
yes,
and things. So I had to tell her, I'm at work, I cannot use my phone, I can't take any call. So in thinking I sent it in my bag, it was not in my bag, it dropped. So actually, so I tell him most likely that my workplace, I had to run back to my workplace with them on the bus. So that's why I found the phone between some bags.
Okay.
So I give it to them.
Okay. So let us just go back a little bit. You said they came to your workplace inquiring or wanting Clint's phone. But they passed at your home before?
Yes, they searched the home. My home was locked. Clint was under arrest. And it was 10 police officers. I know they didn't have Clint following them in the room, and most likely, I know it's not the same officers who went to the same room. The reason I'm telling you that, the room was searched differently.
Okay.
The room was searched differently. The one who searched my son's room where Clint clothes was, they were more aggressive.
Okay.
And the one who searched the room where both of us slept, they were more aggressive than the one who searched where my teenage daughter normally comes on.
Yes.
So I can tell by those things.
So did they ever mention to you that they had already gone to your home?
They tell me no. They tell me no. Even when, upon arrival, when I saw I just look at my dressing table, I could see someone because I'm OCD. Everything has to be faced forward. So then I see everything. I tell them, you all were there. And Clint would never do that. They know me. They would never do that. So I tell them, you all were there. He tell me, no. I said, yes, officer, you were there. So then the other officer said, but what did he tell the young lady? Why didn't he? I don't know what he said. I mean, they were kind of talking among each other. And I said, well, he told me his Clint's cell phone. So to me, it's no one you come in for the phone and presenting a warrant.
Yes.
When you all would already, why didn't you all just tell me on the job that you all came and searched the home, the phone was not found, and then Clint told you most probably I have the phone.
Yes.
And so I tell him, upon arrival, you all lied. That's a lie. So,
wow. So, do you think that Clint now being under arrest with them at the time, that's the first occasion they searched the house without your knowledge?
They searched the house before that.
They searched
the house. They did not move anything as to what type of search. I guess they have different searches. They were looking for personal items, looking for things. So they came looking for Clint the first time and me, because they asked my 9-year-old son, where's your mom, where's your dad?
Okay.
And they asked him for Clint passport, why would you ask a 9-year-old for his father's passport?
Okay.
And they came in the house. It was 2 or 3 of them who came in the house.
Okay. Wow.
And no one, the adult was not present. And we have neighbors who were there. They could simply ask the neighbors from the time they see the little boy at the door. They could simply ask the neighbors, you know, what is it? And they would tell you, Clint not there. Why would you interrogate a 9-year-old?
So you're saying they searched your house with just the minor, your son alone present?
They did. They did not shift anything. They did not, because that, when I came from work, I looked. They did not shift anything on that day.
Yes. Give us an idea, how did your son felt about that situation at the time?
Traumatized, but he's a very little boy. But he's very traumatized because he's very attached to his dad.
Okay.
Even more attached than me. He's very attached to his dad. They do everything together. So seeing a boss of pickup, you know, with policemen, with ammunition and guns.
How old is he?
He's 9 years. You know, he's kind of terrified. And you know, children, they watch movies and about police and these type of things. So he's wondering what his father did for the policeman, because first thing he said, like, Daddy, you will have to move in politics, you have to stop politics because police came there for you. That's what he said.
In terms of the search itself, when you came home, I met you cleaning your home. Did anything was out of place? Did you miss anything?
I'm basically missing my envelope because I collect US.
Yes.
So I'm basically missing like 5,000 US in envelope. As to, I've not fixed my room yet. Normally, when I put my thing in an envelope, and that's how I have it. But my thing is all about the place. Everything is upside down, inside out. So I have not, where I look so far, it's not found. And I'm a very organized person.
Yes.
So right now, I'm not saying anyone take anything. I cannot say that. I have to really search for everything before I can make that assumption. So presently, no, my fan leg is broken. I have a mattress torn. I have my devices and them. Some of them, I left them on like it's Chromebook. It's not working right now. I don't know the impact maybe of looking and slamming things. I don't know. 2 phones are missing, which does not belong to Clint.
Okay.
And things so.
Any other device?
My son has an iPad. I'm not seeing it in the box. Nobody in the box. I'm not seeing it. But that's basically it.
Okay. So you're saying that this morning you had 5,000 US that is in an envelope in your
Yes.
room, and where you placed it, it cannot be found.
It's not there.
It's
and I've not fixed the upper part of my wardrobe yet. So if you go there, you will see how it's.
Okay.
I've not fixed it there.
All right. So how has this situation, this journey, uncomfortable as it may be, has been for you so far?
It's uncomfortable because one, I did not send my son to school. It's 2 days now. I don't want to send him to school for him to get the wrong rumors or gossip. You know, when word goes around,
Yes.
and children,
Yes.
you see, no. So I don't know how we're going to react at school. So I say, I went to work yesterday because we had an audit and we had serious things to do at work. So I had to report to work yesterday. But today, I had to ask for time out because I couldn't leave my son in that state, because from last night he's like, when dad coming home, and he's like, okay, which I don't have an answer to him, so I'm basically waiting.
So how was your son behavior? Any change in behavior, any change in sleeping habits?
Well,
so
he normally sleep in his room. Like after praying, he'll normally go to his room and sleep. He did not sleep in his room. He wanted to sleep where his father was sleeping last night.
Okay.
And telling me like, close all the windows and things.
Yeah. So let us switch to Clint himself now. He basically is in more hot water, as it were, where the law is concerned. How is he in terms of his spirits?
Clint is someone you cannot really tell how he feels.
Okay.
It's in disguise. You can't tell. Clint will tell you he's okay, even if he's going through his struggles. That is Clint for you. Clint is a very hardworking individual, a very good father, and he's somebody that will basically take off the clothes back to give to another person. Clint is somebody, from the time I met him, he has helped a lot of children, the less fortunate, provide shoes. Clint will leave his sons
Yes.
with a need, and he'll give it to somebody else. That is Clint for you. Clint will stay with us and give to somebody. Clint have helped many children, friends I know, helping them with their training, CXC, paying CXC for them, praying prom for them to buy clothes for them. Sometimes I say his grandmother used to tell him, but Clint is not Papa Noel. I'm thinking, Clint is that kind of, Clint is not a violent person. Clint is not somebody, anybody will tell you that. Clint is not somebody that will speak a lot. Politically, he is politically inclined, and
Yes.
like that. But to be in gossip and things, and he's not that kind of person. And even if you do him something, you will never know, because he's not the person that will confront you and tell you anything. He's not that kind of a person. He's not confrontational to tell you anything. He'll listen you say that, he'll tell me. The other thing is he take from his grandmother. He used to say, don't carry nobody load for them. Don't carry people load for them. So he have that. He tell me, I'm not carrying anybody load for them. That's what he do. So when people say things, he just brush it out, and he'll speak to you like he don't know you say, like he don't know anything what you said, and you'll think nobody know what you said. That's just Clint for you.
Have you seen him since the morning of the arrest? And where?
Well, on the bus.
Okay.
Because he was on the bus with me. So the first thing I tell him, you okay? He like nodded, but as I tell you, he will tell me okay, even if he's not feeling okay.
Yes.
But he looked as to blows or anything like that. He looked okay to me.
Okay.
And he was speaking to the officers and them, so I guess he was quite comfortable.
Okay. So, as we speak now, based on your last recollection, where is he?
Roseau, because I bought him something to eat yesterday. I was asked to, so I bought him something to eat. So he's in town from what I did not say him. So he's in town from what I know.
Okay. So basically he's in custody at the police headquarters.
Yes.
I guess, as you mentioned before, he has a lawyer or lawyers?
Yes, he has lawyers.
There's this idea or notion out there that, we call ourselves patriots of Dominica. Clint, I know, if the Clint I know, he is a patriot of his country, that some help should be coming his way in terms of financial help to help with his legal hurdles ahead. Would you dare subscribe to that or encourage that?
Yes, I will. Thanks.
All right, so folks, here it is. Those of you who are wondering out there, Here is Ms. Sylvester, the girlfriend of Clint Rolle, who was arrested by police the day before. She's echoing the sentiment that some of you guys have said out there, that we should, mount a mission and help Clint in terms of not just press this time, not just words of encouragement, but digging deep in our pockets to help with his financial hurdles that he is facing at this time. Any further comment, suggestion you may want to push out there, Ms. Sylvester? Anything else that is on your mind that you want to release out there?
Well, as you see, you cannot say anything. Dominica is not a free country, so you cannot see what's on your mind.
Okay. You made a very powerful statement yesterday about in every woman.
In every black woman.
In every black woman, sorry. There is a what?
Mad woman.
There is a mad woman. Can you just give us a little insight as to that
powerful
statement?
It was a movie I saw. I think it was maybe, what do you call her? She's a man. He's a man?
Madia.
Yes.
Madia, yes.
In every black woman, there is a mad woman. Mad woman meaning that you stand up for your right when you have to. And honestly, if Clint was in any form he was brutalized, I would stand up as a black woman. And it would surprise what a black woman like me could do. So, to the appearance and everything, I see that they take my words into consideration, and he is taken care of. So, thank you, officers. So, I have no further comment on that. No.
But just before we close though, on a more general level, how do you think the rights of Dominicans are being dealt with, treated by, let's say, the policemen or the powers that be, especially when someone may be allegedly in violation of the law?
Okay, I can only speak from my experience.
From your experience, that's all better.
And for me, everybody have a right to speak. I mean, you have some things as an individual you can say and you cannot say. You understand? But everybody have a right. It's a free country, because the children right now, when you look at it, when they listen to parliament, when they listen to our ministers, when they listen to government, when they listen to adults and the way they speak, you watch how the children now are speaking. When you see a young boy on the road, he'll no longer say, if Lofty is your name, as he's calling, he'll no longer say, Lofty. He'll use that point. My brother, you understand? You understand what I'm saying? And I hear ministers in parliament speak like that, and so forth. But Dominica is not a free country. We had independence on the 46th. I think we are dependent, we are not independent. And for my part, better we are still under the British. I think it would be much better, honestly. That's my opinion. My opinion is not necessary to be a fact, but that's my opinion.
Yes. Let's just track back a bit. The warrant that you spoke of earlier, I know the situation was quite pressurizing, but did you have a opportunity to witness who signed that warrant? Did they alert you of that fact whilst reading it?
Honestly, the officer's already acting up.
Okay.
That is the acting commissioner. He was already getting hyper. I know him long before that. He was already getting hyper, and in me reading it, so I did see it. I mean, like, you see Clint Rolle, I did see Clint Rolle in him.
Yes.
And whatever. Honestly, I wear glasses, and the prints are very small. And thing I glance, I see it was a warrant. I see the word, and things with the word in. And because he actually grabbed my phone from me when my phone rang in front of his officers. And I had to snatch my phone back from him.
The officer
Yes.
grabbed your phone.
Yes, right.
When your phone.
Yes, my sister called me.
Wow.
Because she was concerned when what she heard. And when as I speaking to her to tell her the policeman and I cannot, he just grabbed the phone. So I tell him, why are you grabbing my phone from me? And then people think, why trying to be difficult? I tell him, I just answered the phone for me to tell the person, you understand? But
Yes.
he grabbed the phone and he held the phone. So I snatched my phone back from his hand. I snatched it back.
Did that officer told you were under arrest?
No.
So why grab your phone at that time?
I don't know. I guess he's just trying to prove his policehood. As the acting commissioner, you have to set an example. So maybe brutalize, trying to create that threat in me. I'm not intimidated by anyone.
Do you know that officer's name?
Yes, he's Jefferson James or James Jefferson. I don't know which one.
So you're saying Jefferson James or James Jefferson, whoever that officer was at the time, grabbed your phone while speaking, having a conversation with you about a matter they're investigating, and he did not mention to you that you were under arrest.
Yes, sir.
Wow, that is quite appalling. But that is why I asked you the question before about citizens' rights and how important it is when these situations occur.
Excuse me?
That is why I asked you about how citizens are treated in terms of their rights. Yeah. Just before we wind up, though, did Clint have before that?
Just before he said that,
Sure.
he said that when he grabbed the phone, he told me if I want to make things difficult, he can make it difficult. And then there was a policewoman, young lady. She said yes. So I tell him, what are they going to do? They're going to beat me up for my own phone, or they're going to shoot me down for my own phone.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Because I won't give up.
Wow. Did Clint have any altercation with the law before?
Never. Never. Never, ever, ever. Clint is not that kind of person. He's not that kind of person. I am more fancy one than Clint. I am basically the one who speaks for him.
Wow.
I am that kind of person. I'm his mouthpiece.
Yes, sir. How is his mom feeling? You mentioned his mom earlier and his extended relatives.
Yeah, most of Clint family, I think he's basically the only one there.
Okay.
Choose to be.
Okay.
He don't want to be American citizen. He want to be a Dominican. As to like a lot of people want American passport. I don't know why he's refusing. And his mom, she's very devastated because people calling and telling her the IRS and so on and whatever and SSU, and she know how being left there small under bad circumstances. She was very traumatized by it. But I tell her I saw him and he's okay.
Okay.
He was not brutalized or anything in any way.
Wow. In terms of I know the law have to take its course, as it were, but if you had a magic wand, how would you want to see that thing end in terms of, resolution?
I think you should rephrase that question, Mr. Taylor.
I'm asking you finally. I know Clint is under arrest as we speak for some words he said, and they are interpreting it in their own way. So the law have to take its course. But if you, Ms. Sylvester, had the power in your hand, had a magic wand to bring some kind of a resolution to that problem as we speak, how would you want it to end? How would you want it to be resolved?
To free him, basically, to sell him, because everybody see what they want. From the head down, everybody see what, everybody base, I guess, when you're heated and, in the thing of politics, everybody see what they want. Right? So, I don't think that is something, I heard people say worse than that. I'm not making any excuse or whatever.
Yes.
When people say something. But I've heard people say worse than that, where directly with names, and they were not charged, they were not interrogated. Actually, they were rewarded because there was a young man who made a report, they made a threat on that directly when the Chinese came for his home, and he made that threat, and he said if he did not get his money by that time, what he will do, and he know what he's capable of. And he received his money before 3 o'clock, before what that show you all have in the afternoon. What's his show?
Before the
On the block.
Talk on the block, yes.
Right. He received his, and he came back and said he received his money.
Yes, I remember that
You understand?
situation quite vividly. Well, Miss Sylvester, again, I want to thank you for having the courage, having what it takes on the trying times, I must say, to come public. Let the people at least put a face to the voice that we have been hearing over the past 2 days or so. Very Clint's very unfortunate situation. And yes, you made that plea for help, financial help at that, so that Clint, the hurdles ahead, legal hurdles ahead, could be much smoother in terms of he overcoming. Any final thoughts before we end this conversation?
This is today, yes, Clint is the one in custody, but this is not a fight for Clint because Clint is not doing that for himself. Clint is basically doing that for his country. Clint is basically doing that for his constituency. Clint is basically doing that for his people of Wesley. You understand? Clint take politics to his heart and farming to his heart. He's that kind of a person. You cannot, he's either that or dead for him. So Clint is that kind of a person. So I believe that the people should come together. If you cannot, I know plenty of people are scared to come out in person because of their jobs, because of status, because of how they're intimidated. What I'm trying to say, make your dollar sign be your voice, at least to assist him. And when election comes, make your vote be your voice. Sure. If you want to change.
Yeah. Ms. Sylvester, what a powerful way to end. Thank you very, very much indeed. I hope and pray that that situation be resolved in you guys' favor. Thank you very much. All right, folks, that is it here for me in Wesley area as we speak. Talking to, just had a conversation that is with the girlfriend that is of Mr. Clint Rolle. No need to rehash anything anymore. Whenever people, wherever human beings and their rights are in question, especially where the law is concerned, I, as a human rights activist, I will always try my best to add my voice to the conversation in terms of resolution. And so I could not just sit by and hear about that conversation, that situation, unfortunate as it is with Clint, a patriot of Dominica, I call him, and not do what I normally do to help the situation in that regard. So I just had this conversation with his girlfriend, Ms.Dane Sylvester, and asking you out there, whatever it is you can do to help bring some sort of resolution to that problem, please do. You heard Ms. Sylvester said, and I am a very straight shooter. If the number of us in Dominica that wants a change as to where this country is heading, then we need now to not just voice it, but make, whenever the opportunity presents itself, make that voice be our vote. That is what happens in any democratic country. When people are aggrieved, when people's lives are going down, when the economy is not working for the ordinary citizens. And so I beseech all of you guys, I just want to echo the sentiment that Ms. Sylvester said, let that voice be your vote for a better for your country whenever that opportunity presents itself. Obviously, with a much more freer, fairer, and transparent process, which we, the people of Dominica, have to ensure that it happens before any of that process is held in Dominica. So Dominicans, I have much more work to do, so I'm going to attend to the other work. Thank you very much for your eyes and ears each and every time. Thank you. Bye-bye.